Hey everybody, it's Rob, and we are going to have a tea party because it is Independence Day 2023. And so, thinking of the Boston Tea Party and one of the things that kind of set it all off, that's what we're going to do. Sort of a tea party anyway. Anyway, we're up here in the Colorado Mountains under Wolf Creek Pass. I've been here lots of times before. I'll probably be here lots of times again. Just a beautiful, pretty place. But in honor of a special British friend of mine, and more than anything, just to kind of give him a hard time, we're going to make tea, but we're not going to make it the proper British way because that wouldn't be the right way to do it. What we're going to do is make sun tea. Now, a lot of y'all probably know what sun tea is. Some of you probably don't, though. And so what it is when you put tea in water, tea bag in water, and let it sit in the sun and let the sun do the brewing, just the action of the sunlight and the water moving around, do the brewing of the tea. And it's actually pretty good, even if it's not proper British tea. It's good to drink because we drink iced tea a lot up in this part of the world. What we're going to do is, since we don't have an actual sun tea jug, which is usually a glass gallon jug with a spigot on it and made up just for that kind of thing, we're going to do it, big surprise, typical redneck fashion for me. We're going to use a club soda bottle, which I have 2 or 3 of these laying around. This happens to be a 2-liter bottle. Is it? Yep, 2 liters. I got 3 of the big size tea bags that we're going to use for it. And we're just going to do it that way. So, thing one, we got to get this label off of here, which is not a big problem. That comes right off. And we want that off so that the sun will shine through the jug and be able to do its thing. Now, interestingly enough, this also leads us into a different topic of conversation, which is water purification, and a method called the SODIS system, and I can't remember what it stands for, but that's just the official word for it, S-O-D-I-S. But basically, I think it stands for solar disinfectant. If it doesn't, that's what it should mean. And that is, when you put water in a jar after you've kind of filtered the bigger parts of it out, you set this in the sun, and the sunlight shining through the UV rays will purify the water, kill the bad things in there, and you shake it up a little bit and put oxygen in the water, you oxygenate the water, and that helps kill bad things too. Now, in this case, we're actually going to be starting with some good, clean, fresh water, so that's not going to be a problem. So, that's what we're going to do. So, we start with an empty jug, nothing in it, and then we fill it by magic. Ta-da! See there? Easy to do when you know how. Now the next thing we're going to do, and this is kind of the tricky part, is we got this little old mouth on this bottle here, and we got to get this great old big tea bag in there. I've done this a couple of times already, so I've kind of sort of got it figured out. We take the tea bag, kind of spread it around in the tea in there, and then we fold the bag, kind of like rolling up a cigarette. And then it'll work through, if we're real careful, because we don't want to tear the bag, although it wouldn't be the end of the world. There we go. And we just drop it in like that. Now it can start soaking, and we can add the next bag. This bag's got a little hole in it. And you spread this one out good, and it's very tight going in there. There it goes. Now, one of the key things here is we want to keep the strings hanging out with the tags on them. Is better, because we don't want them getting too far down in there just yet. You could probably do this with 2 tea bags. Heck, you could probably do it with 1 tea bag, but I like strong tea. Kind of like coffee. I like strong coffee as well. There we go. Kind of get them lined up and evened up. Oh, the tag fell off of that one. That's okay though. I want them to be able to go about that far down in there without losing the strings. And then we put the lid on there with the strings hanging out. That way it keeps them in place. And you can't really tell it, but you kind of can. That first bag is already starting to do its thing a little bit. Little tea. Now, we just find a sunny spot as some sprinkle drops begin to fall, which means we're not going to have a whole lot of sun. And we let it sit for 2 or 3 hours or longer, depending on how strong we want it, until it does its thing. Now, here's a neat trick. You don't have to have sunshine in order to do this. I used to make tea to carry in my lunches just by putting a tea bag or two in a thermos bottle of water that wasn't even hot water, because I don't like hot. Sometimes I like hot tea, but not on a hot summer day. But even with no sunshine or anything else, that tea is still going to brew itself, kind of a cold brew way, and still going to make a pretty good jug of tea by the time it's done. But if it's in the sunshine, I think it activates it and does it a little bit better. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to find us, or not, terrific. We're going to find a spot to set it, and maybe the sun will shine through the clouds once in a while. Wouldn't you know it would do that just as I start this, but oh well. So we're going to find a good place to put this, and we'll be back in a little bit. Making progress, coming along nicely. Still going, getting better by the minute. Hey, hey, almost there. Good and warm, getting good and dark. Yes, sir. It won't be long now. Now, something to keep in mind, too, is that a bottle like this is pretty much a single-use bottle, because as hard as it was to get the bags in there, it's even trickier getting them out, because they're all swollen up now and just don't want to come out good without tearing them up and coming out like that. That's not as great. You can still kind of get them out and make them usable, but it's a little harder for sure. Yep. If we went to enough effort, we could get these out, rinse the bottle, and use it again. Maybe we will. But this wasn't intended to be a multi-use kind of a thing anyway. We'll clean all this up. Turns out worms like tea grounds really well. Aha. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, buddy. It's tea time. Yep. Yep, that's good. That's good. Oh, that's good. Good and strong. So, that's the way you do it. From plain old water to pretty good tea. Just that easy. Now, figure out something for lunch. I mentioned it was Independence Day, didn't I? And so part of my drink includes crushed limes, because Limeys and yeah, he's gonna hate me, isn't he? I really do appreciate my British friend. No offense, mate, all in good fun. I love you. Happy birthday, America.